Okay, now the topic is talking about mental health in a situation for teens, and I'll talk about my own experiences. We are, post-pandemic. Well, pandemic's not really over, but we are kind of at the uh, end of it at this point. Um, Even before the pandemic, our children were super stressed. I mean, the fact that this is a generation which is a lot poorer, going to be a lot poorer than their parents, and they are dealing with constant scrutiny through the internet. They are constantly in the pressure to present themselves, things which I or you or if the parents are listening did not have to go through. So this generation is a lot more challenged about life than we were. I don't care. You might come back and say, well, they have privilege, they have computers, they have phones. No, 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 no. They don't have what we had. We had freedom. We weren't getting scrutinized 24/7. We didn't have this kind of stresses of, oh my goodness, if I don't, clear this exercise or this assignment, a B will matter as much as it does to these children. Okay, so they are definitely a lot more stressed as children, and I think that respect out of the gate for your children for the amount of work they're putting in, however good or bad they are doing. They're putting in best they can. They're surviving in the world, a very, very messed up world that they're inheriting from us. So I think the biggest and most important part of this is just be more empathetic towards your children. This is some statistics of mental health. You can see that, the numbers are just going up, and ADHD, suicide, mental illness in general, depression, anxiety is through the roof. It just is increasing. I mean, the onset is from age 6. I mean, what else do we be expecting with the amount of gadgets we've given them? But that's the lay of the land. That's what it is, and we can't change that. Girls tend to get ADHD lesser than boys, but yet the numbers are going through the roof. Lots of people don't get diagnosed with mental illness for a very, very long time. And suicide is a real problem. And, it's if you did not, 90% of those died by suicide had an underlying mental illness. And knowing that these symptoms our onsets are, it takes 8 to 10 years before these things become really bad. So you can catch it early on. Knowing your child, and like 50% or more age 14 or older will drop out of high school due to illness. 70% of youth in the juvenile systems have a mental illness. These are real facts. These are statistically real problems, and we are all facing this now as we're going through the pandemic. The thing I found, something which I found this article for colleges. How do you manage your stress? But I think this applies very much for students at home, and this is something which parents should very clearly, in a very structured way, have this conversation with the children, which is the stress comes because of lack of these 4 things, which is if you don't get enough sleep, if you're sleeping late, if you're sleeping at different times, if you're not, it is bound to impact your circadian rhythm, and it's going to mess up your routine in the day. So sleep at the same time, all-nighters don't help at all. They just screw you up for the next 5 days. They lead to inflammation in the body. Balanced meals 3-4 times a day, having a lot more fruits and vegetables, reduction of your carbs and the sugars in the sugary meals. I can tell you from my own schedule, when I have massive exams, which Salesforce and these companies make me go through, I will stop eating sugars at a particular time. I will reduce my caffeine. Well, caffeine I can't stop, but protein, I increase my protein intake, severely reduce my carb intakes. Time management becomes very, very critical. So if you are doing time management, if you're eating balanced meals at different times, if you're controlling the amount of sugar you're taking in, you are actually scheduling downtime. So you're not just studying and just going hobby, taking enough time to be with some of your friends. Make it, downtime being a part of your schedule. You're going to be in trouble, right? So I like this as 4 points you can apply to your life in school and manage your stress, and start doing this in 9th grade, 10th grade onwards itself. Because if you start doing this in 12th grade, I can tell you it's too late already. Okay. This is a very important thing, which is a 504 plan. I am told 504 is not limited to just these particular ailments. 504 is a plan that is created, for example, if your child is lagging behind in studies in the school, or if is having a difficult time completing assignments and going through a massive amount of stress or psychological disorder, emotional illness. Of course, there are learning disabilities. This is absolutely applicable. But, in most schools, 504 plans are fairly generous. You just have to go and ask for it. And to go and ask for it, you need a mental a therapist, somebody who's been a counselor to your parent, to your child, a mental health counselor, to say they require an ADHD. And it has been a huge, immense help to us in our for our children. And I absolutely recommend people to consider taking the ADA, the 504 plan, and making it a part of your plan, and at least come and talk to me. These are mental illnesses, something which most people don't want to talk about, but reach out to me, reach out to many other people who can help you with these things. But having a 504 plan is a huge help. The best part of a 504 plan is colleges don't never come to know about it. If you report it or if you tell them about it on your essays, that's to you, but the schools will not let the colleges know that you are on a 504 plan. Okay, and that is a huge help. So if your child is getting more time to be able to do assignments, and if they need that help, then you should take it. Here's a checklist what a 504 plan does to you. It's different from an EIP or IEP, but the school will put together a checklist of things they can do for you. And these are some of the examples, like schedules and frequent review of information, decreased length of assignments, or at least not giving you multiple assignments on the same day, or multiple exams from different teachers on the same day. Your teachers become more cognizant about your requirement. I think it's huge. Every child, even if you're not down with depression, but if you're struggling with keeping up with the college, with the school requirements, ask for a 504 and reach out to me. I'm happy to help out with, tell you how we've done some of these.